Hello and welcome back to another episode of My Journey, the series where I showcase 10 of the latest track of the day ATs that I have driven in my ongoing effort to achieve them all. We will be starting out volume number 26 today with my 566 author medal, which came on the track Castro Rock, which was made by Boomylet, and it was the track of the day on May 12th of 2025. Castro Rock is a desert car track and 2,600 players have the author medal time on this one, so for a desert car track this one is going to be on the easier side. It took me just 4 minutes to get this one, though this run here took me about 20 minutes, and I ended with a time of 38.762 seconds. So for a desert car track of the day, I thought this was a pretty good fit. There were still some turns on this one where you could tip over, but for the most part, I found it to be pretty manageable compared to other desert car tracks, so all in all, a good track here. Next up, my 567th author medal came on the track Poltergeist, which was made by PPH, and it was the track of the day on April 23rd of 2025. Poltergeist is a bobsleigh and tech track, and for once a bobsleigh track is not giga hunted, with this one having 4,400 players with the AT, and it took me just 3 minutes to get it, finishing with a time of 41.578 seconds. I thought Poltergeist was a pretty good track, and it finally gives us something a little bit different here with bobsleigh, because with bobsleigh tracks I feel like they have normally been made in a full speed style. So yeah, with the tech mixed in, I thought this one was fairly enjoyable, and again, at least the AT here was not super hunted. My 568th author medal came on the track Interstellar, which was made by Whitby, and this was the track of the day on April 28th of 2025. Interstellar was a plastic and tech track, and about 4,100 players have the author medal here, in which that time comes in at 50.592 seconds. I got this one rather quickly as well, taking just 4 minutes, ending with a time of 50.312 seconds. So Interstellar is a pretty interesting track here from a couple of different perspectives. First of all, this was the first ever track of the day made on console, so a huge achievement there. And second of all, this may be the most ever cut track of the day I've ever seen. You saw me do one cut at the start, but there are so many other ones on this track. I just found it to be pretty funny. But no shade at Whitby here, I still thought it was a good track. Skipping a few tracks here, moving on to my 572nd author medal, which came on the track Duck Slide, which again was made by PPH, and it was the track of the day on April 22nd of 2025. Duck Slide is a tech track that has an author time of 43.528 seconds, and about 2,900 players have this AT, so again, another one on the easier side here, though it did take me a little bit longer to get, taking 11 minutes, ending with a time of 43.233 seconds. I thought Duck Slide was a decent track, but I did not really care for some of the grass parts before the drifts. I thought they were either completely unnecessary or ill-placed, making the drifts worse off than they would have been without them. Moving on to my 574th author medal, we have the track Machina, which was made by Wax the Fox, and this was the track of the day on June 11th of 2021. Machina is a speed tech, or maybe even a speed fun track, has an author medal time of 41.108 seconds, in which about 2,800 players have that author medal. It took me about 7 minutes to get this one, ending with a time of 40.974 seconds. I thought I'd include this one in today's video because visually and from a driving perspective, this is much different from anything we get nowadays. But as far as actually driving this one, I did not really enjoy it all that much because whatever drift setups there were, I found to be pretty awkward. Next up, my 576th author medal came on the track Amira, which was made by Link, and it was the track of the day on May 20th of 2025. Amira is a dirt track that has an author time of 52.008 seconds, and this is going to be one of the harder ATs from today's video as only about 400 players have this one. It took me about an hour to get, finishing with a time of 51.728 seconds. I thought Amira was a pretty good track, and it was also a pretty tough one as well. Some sections on this one were pretty tight and had little margin for error. For example, one part that I actually didn't like about it was right after checkpoint 5, I believe. You go from dirt to road, back to dirt again very quickly. Zero margin for error there, and any little bit off, it felt like a guaranteed crash, but otherwise a very good track. Again, skipping a few tracks here up to my 580th author medal, which came on the track Lucid Daydreams, which was made by Slow Dodo, and it was the track of the day on December 29th of 2024. Lucid Daydreams is a speed fun track, and about 2,800 players have the author medal on this one. It took me about 11 minutes to drive it, ending with a time of 46.04 seconds. I thought Lucid Daydreams was a decent track, but I will say I struggled on this one with some of the quicker turns and ended up having to drive this one in camera 3 because I found the angles and precision needed. Camera 1 and camera 2 were just not cutting it, so I didn't really enjoy that aspect of it. It's a decent track, but not my favorite. Now moving on to my 582nd author medal, which came on the track Bay of Islands, which was made by HTIMH, and it was the track of the day on September 21st of 2020. Bay of Islands is a mixed track that has an author medal time of 1 minute and 16.45 seconds. About 2,800 players have driven that author medal. It took me about 10 minutes to get this one, ending with a time of 1 minute and 15.422 seconds. So, Bay of Islands is definitely a great looking track. The visuals are fantastic, the scenery is very nice, but it is also what I least enjoyed about the track. It is super saturated, super contrasty, and the sun in certain parts of the track is so bright I had trouble seeing. I will also say I did not enjoy these sections coming up here where you are taking jumps and driving across sand. If you are slow during these sections, you lose so much time just slow driving over the sand, multiple seconds in fact, so yeah, those speed checks and driving over the sand was not a fantastic addition to the track in my opinion, and overall I just did not find myself enjoying this track all that much. Next up, we have my 586th author medal, which came on the track Silent Wings, which was made by Spec, and it was the track of the day on May 23rd of 2025. Silent Wings is a grass track, and it has an author medal time of 43.465 seconds, and only about 300 players have this one, so makes it the most difficult one in today's video. It took me 1 hour and 20 minutes to drive it, ending with a time of 43.318 seconds. So if you know me, you know I love my grass tracks, and this one is absolutely no exception. There were still some parts of this one I didn't care for all that much, and I was a little bit disappointed it took me so long to get the AT on this one, but nonetheless, still a very nice track. My 587th and final author medal in today's video came on the track Cream, which was made by A-Trick, and it was the track of the day on May 27th of 2025. Cream is a bobsleigh track, and about 900 players have the author medal on this one, so another bobsleigh track today that was not super hunted. It took me just 3 minutes to get this one, though this run took me about 2 hours, and I ended with a time of 41.178 seconds. So like the Poltergeist track from earlier, this is another bobsleigh track that tries to do something a little bit different with some reactor grass stuff, but unfortunately this track also does have multiple cuts in it, and you saw me perform one there, but overall I still thought it was a good track. But with that, we will conclude volume number 26 here today, and we ended off with my 587th author medal, and that is our current running total. Now, as you may have seen here today compared to previous videos in this series, I'm no longer showing every single AT that I drove, but instead am sort of skipping around to showcase what tracks I want to. This should allow me to drive more track of the days and get more ATs in general, but for those of you who still want to see every single one that I have driven, every track we skipped here today was still driven on livestream, so you can go watch those there. I do have a link in the description to a spreadsheet of every single AT that I have driven, what videos they are in, and the timestamps for them if they were driven on livestream. Now with that said, if you are interested in driving any of the tracks you saw here today, there will be links in the description to all of them, and you can also find them in my in-game club called Club Teuty. I also hope you enjoyed today's video. If you did, be sure to like it and subscribe so you don't miss out on any in the future. Thank you all so much for watching, and I hope to see you all soon with Volume 27.